The janitor arrives at 4 a.m. when the office building sleeps in darkness. Her keychain jangles against the metal door as fluorescent lights flicker to life across empty floors. By the time the first executive steps from his car 8 hours later, every surface will gleam, every trash bin will be emptied, every restroom will be stocked and spotless. He will never think about the hands that prepared his workspace. She will never receive thanks for the order that makes his productivity possible. This is the hidden architecture of civilization, the vast network of silent service that keeps the world functioning while remaining invisible to those who benefit from it. Epictetus knew this landscape intimately. Born into slavery, he understood that the most essential work often happens without recognition. That character is built not in moments of applause, but in the grinding repetition of duty fulfilled, when no witness watches except your own soul. The first teaching of silent service is that invisible work develops strength that visible work cannot touch. When you labor without audience, you discover whether your motivation comes from external validation or internal conviction. The night security guard walking empty corridors, the caregiver helping someone dress in the pre-dawn hours, the maintenance worker fixing systems before anyone arrives. These acts of hidden service forge a different kind of resilience. Each task completed without fanfare strengthens your capacity to act from principle rather than praise. Your character grows not through what others see, but through what you do when no one is looking. The second principle reveals that silent service connects you to something larger than personal recognition. Epictetus taught that we are part of a cosmic city where each person plays a role that serves the greater whole. The teacher who stays late to help a struggling student, the programmer who documents code that future colleagues will inherit, the volunteer who sorts donations in a windowless room, all participate in this larger project of human flourishing that transcends individual credit. Your hidden work becomes a form of worship, not to gods, but to the principles that hold communities together. Service itself becomes the reward. The third teaching shows that thankless work reveals the purity of your intentions. When applause is removed from the equation, you discover what truly motivates your actions. Are you serving because recognition feels good, or because the work itself aligns with your values? The parent who wakes repeatedly in the night to tend a sick child, the friend who listens to the same troubles week after week without sharing advice with others, the employee who fixes problems that no one will notice if done right. These acts strip away ego and connect you directly to virtue. Silent service purifies motivation by removing everything except the satisfaction of duty fulfilled. The fourth principle addresses how hidden burden builds authentic authority. Leaders who have carried weight in silence understand responsibility differently than those who have only worked in spotlights. They know the texture of tasks that matter, but never trend. The weight of decisions that protect others from consequences they'll never know existed. The manager who absorbs criticism to shield their team. The administrator who handles crises quietly to prevent panic. The mentor who guides someone without taking credit for their success. These experiences of silent service create leaders who understand that real power lies in serving rather than being served. Authority earned through hidden sacrifice has different gravity than authority granted through visible achievement. The fifth and deepest teaching is that silent service transforms suffering into strength. Epictetus learned this through years when his labor benefited masters who regarded him as property rather than person. Yet this experience taught him that external circumstances cannot touch the inner citadel where your choices and character reside. When your work goes unnoticed, when your contribution is overlooked, when your sacrifice is taken for granted, you face a choice: bitterness or growth. Silent service becomes a laboratory for developing the capacity to find meaning independent of external validation. Each ungrateful recipient, each unacknowledged effort, each invisible contribution strengthens your ability to act from internal rather than external sources of purpose. This philosophy revolutionizes how you approach every task that lacks glamour or recognition. Instead of resenting hidden work, you recognize it as character training that visible work cannot provide. The researcher whose discoveries enable breakthrough studies that win prizes for others. The translator whose accuracy makes international communication possible. The archivist whose careful cataloguing preserves knowledge for future generations. All transform invisible labour into visible character through the alchemy of willing service. Your growth happens not despite the lack of recognition, but because of it. The modern world trains us to expect acknowledgement for every contribution, to document every act of service for social media, to convert kindness into content. But silent service operates by different mathematics entirely. Its value compounds in darkness, builds strength through obscurity, creates meaning through the pure act of serving without expectation of return. The IT specialist who prevents system crashes that no one will know almost happened. The custodian whose attention to detail creates environments where others can focus. The accountant whose accuracy protects organizations from disasters they'll never see. All participate in this economy of hidden value that keeps the visible world stable. Every act of silent service strengthens your capacity to find purpose beyond praise, meaning beyond recognition, satisfaction in the work itself, rather than in others' appreciation of it. You discover that the deepest fulfillment comes not from being seen, but from seeing what needs to be done and doing it regardless of who notices. This creates a foundation of character that external circumstances cannot shake, because it depends on nothing outside your own commitment to virtue and service. The burden no one sees becomes the strength everyone benefits from, even if they never know its source. If this moved you, comment the Citadel holds below. It is our sign that you carry the philosophy with you. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.